We live? We live for real? Okay.
You see, something's either happened or it's about to happen with unbelievable magnitude. A couple of years ago, I was in Japan wrestling and I saw a kid named Chris Benoit. And it just flew off the page.
What's going on, everybody? It's a General Ayatollah here. Taking over for my brother CT, aka Chitty Bang. Talking smack. Let's just get into it, man. Let's talk about the last thing. The first thing we're talking about is the last thing. Feel me? Make sure y'all do all the like, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. Late night Friday roll call. We'll talk about SmackDown. Feel me? So the last thing that happened. Oh shit! Everybody got a post show going on right now. Damn. Okay. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Right now we are going to talk about SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, ended the night. AJ Styles did the whole I'm going to retire maybe type of situation. And we all know how that thing go. It was telegraphed from the moment that we heard about it, thought about it. So was it executed well? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a little ham-handed, but it is what it is. Cody Rhodes did state that he possibly thought about running it back with AJ Styles. In the press conference after their match in Lyon, France at Backlash. So for them to invoke a storyline underneath it makes it all worth the while. No disrespect to Diana Taurasi, but she was talking that shit to Caitlin Clark, and she right now fighting the dub against the Minnesota Lynx, who is one of the best teams in the W right now. Minnesota, Connecticut Sun, of course the Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty. One of those good teams is not the Phoenix Mercury, my nigga. So, I'm watching that on the double screen. I'm on the second screen right now. Anyway, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes with, again, a feud that enhances the story. I'm sorry, or the story that enhances the feud. That makes a lot of sense to me. That matters to me. They worked really, really well together. I'm pretty sure Cody's going to hit the man with, if you want another title shot, all you had to do is ask situation. But you know, you gotta go for what you go for. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, the next thing that we're gonna talk about though is Nia Jax winning the Queen of the Ring last week, right, at Saudi. She defeated Lyra Valkyrie in the finals. So then now she has an automatic title shot against the champion at SummerSlam. She came out. She got, Nick Aldis, congratulations, called her out. She made her proclamation, called Bayley out. Bayley got attacked by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green on the way out. And Chelsea, told Nia, was like, yo, I know you got a championship match at SummerSlam, but it ain't going to be a Bayley. It's against me. And Nia looked at that bitch dead in her face. I don't give a fuck who it is. Either or, getting their ass whooped and walked off. That particular segment led to what was the main event match, I would say, of Naomi and Bailey against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, as Chelsea Green and Piper Niven has attacked Naomi as well. And during us finding that out, as far as that match, we also got an interaction with Blair Davenport and Naomi backstage in Nick Aldis' office, which I think that would be great. That's a great introduction for Blair. It gives Naomi something to do, somebody new to work with. So I think that would be perfect as well. After the opening segment that I talked about of Nia and being crowned and everything like that, and the Piper Niven, declaring that she wants to be champion, the first match of the night was Grayson Waller versus, Austin Theory versus Tommaso Ciampa. Austin Theory versus Tommaso Ciampa was the first match of the evening. And with that particular match, we were kind of introduced to the possible breakup of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I'm really not too sure what the purpose of that particular segment was. Where Wade Barris on the commentary and everything like that mentioned something, and Grayson Waller was like, really? Like Johnny Gargano, he wasted this guy's talent. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for the Grayson and Waller effect, rub. You know what I'm saying? Austin Theory heard that. It was like, what you talking about, brother? You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of happened. I'm not really wanting to see them break up as of yet. I think they do really well together. But the tag division over there in SmackDown is very lit, as we saw later on in the night. The Street Profits came out and had a match with Gorillas of Destiny. That match only came about because Kevin Owens and Paul Heyman had a segment where Paul Heyman essentially is like washing his hands of the situation with the Bloodline. He's essentially like, brother, I used to work for Roman. Roman had some codes, had some ethics. He had pretty much, he ran shit through me to see if it was okay to do. And I like that because it was a use for me. Right now, Solo street nigga. He ain't got no use for me. He ain't got no use for Solo, bro. When he was in NXT, bro, he was the street champion, bro. The street champion. Anybody around the way, a nigga that's detailed as the street champion ain't got no. He ain't boxed in no organized ring before. You feel me? Like he ain't silver glove winner. You know what I'm saying? He ain't an Olympian. Like, nah, he a street champion, bare knuckle fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who he is. And that's essentially who he hang with. That's who he bang with. Tama Tonga, Toalunga, they both are rough around the edges. Unpredictable. They don't really they got a leash, but that shit ain't attached to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? They the dog that got a leash on their neck with nobody holding it. It ain't on no pole or no fence or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just street dudes. And essentially, Paul Heyman is coming to Kevin Owens like, hey, man, to some effect, Roman only fucked with you because he fucked with you. I'm saying he respected you. He knew you was a threat. These guys, they do it for the thrill. You see the difference? Like, I take you out because of that. No, they take you out for the thrill of it. And Kevin Owens made the whole thing like, I stand on my own too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't run from the old bloodline. I ain't running from the new bloodline. And once you start talking that yin yang, them niggas came out. You feel me? Solo, Tama, Tua, and they started laying down the groundwork for a beat down. Street Profits came out to help support Kevin Owens, and that led to a tag team match. Guerrillas of Destiny ultimately won that match. Really strong tag team effort. Street Profits is losing a little bit too much for my liking. Honestly, don't know why they were involved with this, but I mean, I guess, to use Cheaty's, thing, well, they're involved in the main storyline, and they must be doing something right, so fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Something else that oh my gosh, she just died of her eye. Ooh wee! Minnesota up 89-65, putting a beat down on Phoenix Mercury right now. Yes, I multitask, and yes, I do watch the W. You feel me? I watch the W not just for Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I watch the W because the W has great basketball. But clearly not tonight because Minnesota Link is putting a beat down on Phoenix. Something else that happened tonight was Andrade had a match with Apollo Crews, which was pretty fire. Apollo Crews, it took a minute for us to kind of get him back in the zeitgeist of wrestling, but we definitely do appreciate seeing Yuha Nation. Shout out to Black Guy Wrestling Podcast, who I think that was them that put out the clip, and it was like, yeah, this nigga was a problem back in the day. Yes, he was. Yes, he absolutely was. He's still a problem now. But shout out to everybody that kind of come under the WWE umbrella. I know everybody wants to be the guy, but also we be talking about niggas that right now, Twitter is filled with wrestlers, aspiring wrestlers who just want to do everything to have wrestling pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got so many wrestlers right now that wrestle for gas money. You know what I mean? That still got shoot jobs to cover their rent and everything like that. You got a lot of wrestlers that's like, yo, if I can just get me something that can pay, that can just have me straight. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to none of those wrestlers who do it. I know Apollo probably got a lot of aspirations for himself and everything like that, but man, he ain't never lose no job. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never lose no bread. You know what I mean? Shinsuke's another guy. You know what I mean? Who, man, that I don't think he ain't never going back to Japan. You know what I mean? He'll go back, but he ain't never going back. You know what I mean? So we gotta respect those guys. We gotta respect those guys and also show again what we're doing right now. When they're on our screen, watch their matches, get that quarter hour up, or at least that segment up. You know what I mean? Tweet, show the support. I know y'all feel like that doesn't go a lot, but come on, man. We got too much evidence in the bank to show that if we do something, if we get behind something, if we support something, like we can change it. So if Apollo Crews is somebody that you want to see more of on TV, just like we did with Chad Gable when it was fucking up with Shorty G and everything like that. Yo, it was like, yo, get this shit out of here. He a true one. He a real one. Now all of a sudden, Chad Gable, it takes time, but this goes back to when I had a thing with Cody Rhodes. Everybody's like, damn, Cody Rhodes is just gonna milk this babyface gimmick, or like he shows not how to, like, that's what we're buying into. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're buying into. Like we've already bought in. So um I know there's definitely ways that you can lose people. It's very difficult to gain people, but for the most part, it's not hard to maintain or retain, I should say. Right? Apollo Crews ain't been on TV in how long? Right? When Cedric Alexander get on TV, bro, we gonna go up for that boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all I'm saying with that is Andrade Apollo put on a really great match. They did a really they had a really great situation going on, to where we want to see more. We need to kind of see more of Apollo. The roster kind of dictates that, as there is a gap, right, as far as right. LA Knight is calling out Logan Paul. Once LA Knight hopefully wins that United States Championship, we see Carmelo Hayes right there in the weights. That'll be a great, right. But there's Carmelo and Apollo's right there. We can do that, right? Like, as long as we keep seeing Apollo and he's there, like Apollo and Carmelo would be great for the United States Championship. Apollo already has been United States champion already, right? So like, we can listen. It's a lot we can do there. After that match, Andrade was seen walking past Santos Escobar. So if you didn't see the digital exclusive or what happened before the show, Andrade walks in the building. Angel Garza walks up to my man, Cabron, you know what I'm saying? And try to, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we got an open invitation to Legado. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Andrade is like, gracias, but no muchas gracias. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't even worry. I stand on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, these Gucci belts and this Hermes belt that I came in with ain't come with. I don't got no group. I did this on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see these Versace shades I got right now? You see this Rolex? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? This fucking thick 18 karat Turkish gold chain I got right now, my nigga. Like, I ain't do that with no group. I ain't had no backing. I don't need no backing, essentially. But he said that in a nice way. So that's going to be really great to see Andrade and Santos down the line. I think that's going to be a fantastic feud, especially if Andrade gets to stand on his own against Legado del Fantasma. What else we have on Smack? Look, the tag match. The tag match of Piper Nivens and Chelsea Green against Naomi and Bayley happened. Pretty standard, match. Naomi and Bayley seems to have a really great, relationship, kin to each other. That possibly is going to have to stop, since there's only one title. There's not a secondary title at the moment. Everybody has to gun for Bayley. So as we have Piper Nivens, as we have Nia, Naomi should throw her name back in the hat. That women's division, I'm not saying that it doesn't have potential. What I am saying is it's going to have to do a lot to make me care about it. And the reason why is because two of the main characters that I want to care about have the tag titles. So with that being said, they have to do something with Bianca and Jade, especially on Fridays, to keep me engaged, to keep that women division fresh, to keep that women division hot. Again, I'm not stating that the other women can't hold it. Again, I just said Blair Davenport and Naomi is going to be something I would like to see, right? So don't get me, you know what I mean? Like, don't misconstrue what I'm saying is, but when we look at that roster is top heavy, and with two of the top heavy women in a tag, that doesn't necessarily diversify the division when there aren't a lot of tags also. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my point. Shoot. What else we got? What else we got, man? I think I covered everything, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hold y'all long. Like I said, it looked like everybody got a SmackDown review show tonight. You know what I mean? But that's what we wanted to do. We just wanted to throw ourselves in the algo. You know what I mean? My brother Chitty Bang is in Michigan right now for his nephew graduation. That young got a situation where he got scholarships to kind of go pick and choose where he want to go, try to do some things with his life. So shout out to Uncle Chitty out there being supportive. So I'm holding it down for Smack Talk, you know, or Talking Smack or whatever the hell it is. It's the joint roll Ayatollah, baby, the most high. I think we kind of did everything, right? I talked about AJ and Cody. That's going to be okay. I talked about Naomi, Bailey, Chelsea Piper. I talked about Gorillas Destiny, Street Profits, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Carmelo, Andrade Apollo, Legado del Fantasma, Austin Theory, Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah, I think I covered everything. You know what I'm saying? So what I am going to say is join us Sunday. I got a little bit of eyeballs on me right now. Oh, the numbers is growing. So let me keep going. You feel me? We got a show on Sunday, if I do believe, will be a kind of a recap show of the week that happened in professional wrestling. There I'll talk probably about Rampage, which I did not watch. I could have been watching it right now, but again, I was watching the W. I'll probably for sure been talking about Collision. Collision looks like it's going to be a banger of a show. I know a lot of the gripe about Collision and Rampage is that it's not necessarily succinct with the storytelling of AEW. It's just a lot of matches per se. And what I will kind of piggyback off of and say is that is true, right? But if you do pay attention to the things that happen on pay-per-views, that do happen on like blow off shows and matches, those things do happen to have subsequent actions that took place, right? So just pay attention, you know, like everything unfortunately can't be all laid out for you, like kind of like AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes tonight, right? How it was just telegraphed, you know what I'm saying? AEW unfortunately isn't like that, but we got Roddy Strong versus Leo Rush on Collision. We got Will Ospreay versus Kyle O'Reilly on Collision. You know what I'm saying? Rampage, I saw a clip of Isaiah Cassidy versus Ray Phoenix, where they did a little spot with West Side Gun. Shout out to the homie West, front row. And they did a little spot where he had his hat and this. She got really good camera time. I would say this too. Everything is wrestling, man. You know what I mean? Like hip hop and wrestling being in the zeitgeist, pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote, it being cool again. That go to Bam Bam, Action Bronson, Wordplay, Lay Wale, Smoke DZA, West Side Gun. Like go to them and go to Offset with the Ric Flair drip, right? We got Bad Bunny, we got Post Malone, right? All of that pot, right? That gumbo kind of threw wrestling back in the atmosphere. Also shout out to Nick Khan, man. You know, I love business. I just graduated my bachelor's in business administration and management, with a concentration in accounting and finances. I love sports business. I watch John Skipper and David Sampson on Levitar Network. Pablo Torre. Like I just love Bomani, who has two degrees in economics, one in micro, one in macro. I like when he talks business. I like business. So when Endeavor and TKO and WWE kind of merged together and everything like that, business has been booming. When Nick Khan came over, he was the leader of CAA agency he was the lead agent over at CAA, and he was bringing in the big bucks to all of the big people, right? He when he came over to WWE, I can go back to the pod and I can try to go back and show you where I say business will pick up, like business will boom. Like he is trying to make this shit blossom and shit. What is it? 4 years later, he's been there since 2020, the pandemic. If I'm not mistaken, he might have even been there 2019. You know what I'm saying? So Nick Khan had an unbelievable vision with the expansion of globalization of the company, maximizing the dollars. Raw is going to be on Netflix they got a $5 billion deal, $500 million a year, right? So what is that? Is that Netflix footing the bill for production costs for Raw? Do you know how much of that does to the stockholders for TKO? Right? Because that's not an output no more. Like all that, you know what I mean? Like, so listen, I'm a shareholder in TKO. I never sold none of my. I was in a business law class, and I was shooting the shit with the homies. Chidi's in the group chat. My brothers Richard Ray was in the chat. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and WWE at the time was at like my wife. She was my wife now, but at the time she was my girlfriend. I'm like, yo, WWE is like, I think it was like $17 or like $12 or something like that. Like I don't even think it was like $20 or something like that. You know what I mean? And bought a couple dollars worth of shares and whatnot. And I never looked back at it. I looked at WWE as Disney, right? As Google, as Apple. Even with the Vince stuff going on. When Rocky came along, I was like, that's a front-facing person to kind of, smooth things over. Like Tripp's doing his part with the content, making good content. Mick doing his best business as of yet. And again, pop culture, right? Just live sports rights is money. So AEW, I know they might be looking at, a lot of people are talking about their numbers and what they're getting with Warner Brother Discovery with their distribution rights and everything like that. Listen, if I'm Tony Khan, if I copy a lot of things from WWE, I model a lot of things after WWE. If I'm doing anything, I'm modeling myself after that. Cable television, linear television, linear cable sports networks, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of doesn't. That's not the future. Streaming is here, and if AEW, I believe AEW can do a great thing if they happen to get on a streaming platform, if they're offered on Max, you know what I'm saying? That would be fire. I think that'd be dope. That gives you a different subset of eyes that you didn't have before. Well, I think I talked enough. Dreamable Ayatollah here, man. I appreciate everybody who giving me time tonight. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace.